Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope the day is going well for you. We actually been having a bit of a storm here close to the castle, but nothing too special. But in any case, everybody's okay. That's all that matters. Thank you very much, guys, for attending the live stream yesterday. We had a good turnout, a lot of questions. I think a lot of funny things happen, a lot of exciting things happening. So I'm very happy to see that. By the way, we are almost at 700 subscribers. We are, I think, 13 or 12 away. So if you guys could like and subscribe the video, that would be great. So thank you very much once again for your support. So for those of you who follow me a bit more carefully, last week I mentioned when we closed very poorly the S&P, I did mention that this week I would expect us to go back to the channel where we were before, meaning the 4,200 level up to the 4,600 level. And actually, I also mentioned on Monday that stocks may have bottomed and we were about to go higher. Well, I was actually way right. I was actually right on that, but actually it superseded my expectations because I did think we're gonna regain the 4,200 level, but I didn't expect us to go to the 4,300 level without any kind of break or stop in between. Now, I do think the moves have been quite aggressive. I'm not sure we're gonna have just 5 days of green candles. I mean, have some sort of consolidation, some sort of breathing period. I think it would make sense. I'm not saying it's gonna happen tomorrow, but we should start seeing some sort of slowdown in the entire movement. Now, would that mean that we're going to have a major sell-off and things like that? Look, as long as the bond market keeps on going higher, keeps stabilizing, interest rates dropping, I do think it's going to be very hard for stocks to have major collapses. But, I mean, if things unfortunately escalate in other parts of the world, you never know, right? We are in a very dangerous time period in which these things can happen overnight, and anybody who can come here to you and say, oh yeah, next week this is going to blow up over the weekend, so next week's going to drop. No. I mean, people can try to do that, but they will be eventually proven wrong. Another thing, just a bit of a comparison, which I think is actually quite amusing. Peter Schiff was predicting stocks to collapse, Black Monday, stocks to drop continuously. Ever since he made that prediction, basically stocks went straight up. He also said, oh, gold is going to go above 2,000, never going to come back. We've been pretty much all the time below 2,000. So basically, he's trying to go for the heavyweight title of Inverse Oracle, which obviously belongs to Jim Cramer. He is the GOAT. But Peter Schiff is trying his best to go after it. I would say it's a toss-up between him and Harry Dent to see who's the person wrong the most in terms of investments. Thank God people who follow this channel are a bit smarter and they can see through the garbage of financial advice that these guys provide, so they are actually quite safe on it. Funny thing that I would like to mention, so by the way, just coming back, stocks, what we've done is very simple. Over the summer, we went above 4,600, so we went a little bit above the channel that I've been talking about for months, while everybody was predicting, oh my God, this is going to drop. I mean, I saw over the weekend the amount of videos that I saw about how S&P was going to retest the previous low, and how it was going to go to 3,900, and how it's going to go to whatever. I mean, it was video after video, how this was going to collapse this and that would collapse that. And I'm like, okay, I'm very convinced now that we're actually going to go up after so many negative videos. And what we've done in the summer is we went above the 4,600 channel, stayed that for a little while, couldn't hold it, came back to the channel. We went all the way down to test the 4,200. We actually went a little bit below. We couldn't be there for too long, so we've came back again into the channel. I mean, that's it. That's all we've done. But see, this doesn't give that many YouTube views. This is an honest perspective. This is what I've been expecting, and it happened basically exactly as I said. But it's easier to say, oh, the markets are pricing in World War III, or the markets will now collapse because this will happen, and banks will all go bankrupt at the same time, and inflation is going to quadruple tomorrow. I mean, yes, sure. I mean, this sells much better. So, of course, as you know, what's been happening this week, what I've told you. Job reports came weaker, which the market likes. The Fed decision was, okay, no more rate hikes. And the way that he spoke was very anti-rate hikes. But also, he's not seeing rate cuts. So what did I say is going to be bullish for markets? Higher for longer, without anything breaking. So when we have a recession, there is room to cut. That's what the market wants. I'm not saying that's good for the market. I'm not arguing that. You're trading. No, sorry. You're investing, or you're looking at things based on the emotional feelings of all the other million players and what they consider to be positive or negative. My personal opinion is irrelevant on this. I actually think if they cut rates, that's deflationary, which is contrarian to everybody thinking. And people say, oh, what's your evidence for that? I don't know. I mean, 30 years of Japan, 12 years of Europe, 12 years of US. That's it. I mean, how much more data do you really want? People still don't grasp the difference between money printing and asset price inflation, which has happened because the M2 money supply and the S&P 500 are correlated at 99%. I don't know how nobody sees this, but for me it's fine. But in the short term, cost of money is a cost. If you lower that cost, and that's a big one in the economy, then the cost of in the overall economy also come down in the short term. That's what I said. But in any case, moving past this, by the way, the call that I made on oil, I said that my cycles and patterns are telling me that oil is supposed to top for months, for a few months into the future, late September, beginning of October. 28 September, crude oil, it's 95 or 94.8, drops down, it's still down today, never touched it again. Peter Schiff was calling for $100 oil, CNBC was calling for $100 oil, Financial Times came out with an article, hedge funds now position their bets for $100 oil, and here's a random guy with a mask, saying in late August that, oh, by the way, in about late September, we should have a peak on oil. That's it. Now, go back to the most interesting part, the crypto world. This is how the narratives are changing, and this is how you know you're moving forward with the cycle. Little tricks. I read today, I'm not going to give publicity, but it's quite a viewed channel and quite a viewed news outlet for crypto. Bitcoin crashes to 35,000. I'm not joking. So Bitcoin crashed to yesterday's price. This is a crash. This is where we are in the cycle. This is my point. I've seen also X on Ethereum actually got a big dump today. That dump was almost entirely eaten the same day. This is the difference. Few months ago, where we were in the recovery year, where we were in the bear market, a big dump would, before we recovered the previous price, we would go a little bit up, sideways, chopping action, buy, sell, until we had a little bit of momentum, and then finally we recovered. Now we're getting sell-off in one day, and it's getting all eaten in the same day, which means everybody's on the background waiting for money, waiting for any dip to buy. That's how you know you are moving forward into the cycle. Number two, Chainlink has been performing very well. What I've been telling you, interchain operability. Why? Big players coming into the space, they want code that talks to each other across various chains. They don't want this complexity that we have right now. So whoever solves that issue might be a big deal. Will it be the next crypto bull market narrative? Who knows? Is anybody guess? I like Chainlink. I don't like many things around them, but I like the product. So I think it will do well. Cardano, finally starting to pump. A lot of development in the bear market. Difficult to go up. It's good. However, it's not one of my favorite coins, but I think they will do well. Now, one of you asked me to look at GRT. GRT actually gave me a good idea because I went to see the ICO. You see, at the all-time high of that coin, retail people were up 90 something fold, which is great. I mean, they were up 90 plus their money. Okay? Problem is, the venture capital firms that went in were up 950 times their money. So what happens when you have these coins, these projects completely dominated by venture capital firms? So here is a little bit of things that you should look at. People say wrongly this: oh, look at that project. That project's going to be great. Look, they already gathered 15 million of funding. They have all these VCs as partners. This is going to be great. Say, no, you don't get it, do you? If the VCs already bought, and by the way, at a much cheaper price than you did, if their money is already here, then they are not here to buy. If they already have the coins, what can they do with them? Sell them. The same philosophy with airdrops. If you give a lot of coins to people, they already have them, they don't need to buy them. What they have to do, what can they do with them? Sell them. See the point? Some people say, oh, look at these guys, Bluezilla, they have these VCs and those VCs. You don't get it, do you? They get allocations at 10% the price that you pay for them. So they start at the 10x already. If you are lucky enough to make 100x, they are making 1000x. If you're making a 50x, they're making a 500x. And then here is the issue. You have 5 or 6 VCs. What is the incentive that all of them have? Sell. Why? What if the other VCs sell? Then you end up holding the bags. Can a coin like that still succeed? Yes. How? My opinion. You monitor the addresses of those VCs, the founders and all of that. You will see them selling. Yeah? If they manage to sell and sell and sell and sell and cut the momentum over and over again, but the community that developed is so strong that that coin keeps going up, then after they sell everything they had, then you'll probably succeed. But the community is the asset, not the ticker, not the team, not the founders, much less all the VCs. It's all garbage. They are made in certain ways. By the way, in those VCs, you'll see some allocations called strategic partners. Those mean influencers on YouTube. They get paid to dump those coins, so they get the same allocation that the VCs, and they dump on you. So in case you don't know what a strategic partner is, or when you see marketing purposes, that's what it means. Okay? Now be careful, because a lot of these things will flow in the bull market. Okay? As I mentioned, Bitcoin 42, 45K, those will be the good numbers. And then pretty much at 48K, which is a little bit below 50K, is also a major level of resistance. Now, people sometimes ask, oh, but why is the ETFs so important? You see, the spot ETF has daily redemptions, which means that BlackRock and the other companies coming with the ETF need to hold reserves of Bitcoin. And if they see a lot of demand from their clients coming to buy it, they cannot wait. So what the theory of many people is, oh, but BlackRock and all these guys already bought Bitcoin. They are already prepared for the ETF, so they are not going to buy anymore because they already bought it. Well, if it triggers a lot of demand, they need to start to look at their stock of Bitcoin and say, okay, will I run out of it by April? If that's the case, then they will need to go and buy more, but they will buy big batches of it, billions of dollars at a time, not $50,000, $100,000 or whatever. So the daily redemption aspect is why it's so much better than the Bitcoin Trust, who basically buys Bitcoin 4 times a year or so, or 3 times a year, and then you have discounts to NAV or premiums to NAV, because they cannot have daily redemptions like the spot ETFs. Now, I do think the environment remains bullish for crypto. I do think that when banks went bankrupt, it reminded people why crypto was invented. When exchanges go bankrupt, people get reminded why crypto is important. When people got their gold confiscated in conflicts all around the world, when their ATMs got shut down, when their wires got shut down, but people were being supported in Ukraine, for example, with crypto, then they remembered why is it so important. And what you've seen by Wall Street is, okay, the validation is here, time to go there and make the money. Now, I'm not saying that that part is good or bad, I'm saying it's happening. What I care about is, okay, how can that benefit me so I can have the maximum decision power in my life and I can live in parts of the world where I may not be 100% protected, but I'll do my best to keep myself and my family protected. That's my mindset, okay? So in any case, guys, I hope that this update has been useful. Once again, there's no big deals around these things. It's just if you take out the drama out of the equation and you just look at the information coming and you pay attention to real information and not take things like, oh my God, the job report is going higher. My God, more tightening. Yes, yeah, but they also check that part-time jobs are going through the roof, full-time jobs going down the drain, and people getting second and third jobs is going to the roof because they cannot afford what one job used to afford before. So learn to read a bit behind the big headlines, big shot. But then here is the key. One thing is for you to know about these things. The other thing is how the market is going to perceive them. Because ultimately you can be completely, absolutely 100% right. But if the entire market thinks otherwise, the movement of the market will be against you, even though in theory you are completely correct. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. And have a nice evening.